Hello, English learners. Have you ever felt like your English is okay, but not quite fluent? You know the words, you make sentences, but something still feels basic. Well, here's the truth. Fluent speakers don't always use big words. They just use the right words and phrases that make them sound natural and confident while speaking English. So, in today's lesson, I'm going to teach you 5 smart English phrases that will instantly make you sound fluent in English. Now, you may ask, why just 5? Because 5 phrases are easy to remember rather than 10 phrases. It's too much of information, you know. So, are you ready? Come on, let's begin. Here comes phrase number 1. To best of my knowledge. Now, this is a smart way to say, as far as I know. But you know what? It sounds more fluent and formal. Imagine, someone asks you a question, but you're not 100% sure. You think you're right, but just in case, you want to say it politely. Here are some examples. To the best of my knowledge, the meeting starts at 3 p.m. You're not 100% sure. To the best of my knowledge, she hasn't submitted the report yet. To the best of my knowledge, this app works only on Android. This phrase is mostly used at the start of the sentence. All right, now it's your turn. Try making a sentence with to the best of my knowledge and drop it in the comments. That's the best way to remember this phrase. And we move on to phrase number 2. It would be wise to, and you can say whatever you want to say. Now, this is a soft and polite way to give advice or suggest something smart to do. Now, instead of saying you should do this, which might sound a bit bossy, you should say it would be wise to, which makes your advice sound more mature, thoughtful, and even more fluent. For example, it would be wise to back up your files regularly, just in case something goes wrong. If you're not sure, it would be wise to ask your manager for clarity. It would be wise to take a break and get some rest. You've been working non-stop. All right, let's move on to the next smart phrase. Phrase number 3. It's not as black and white as it seems. Now, this is such a natural and expressive phrase, right? It means the situation is just not good or bad, or maybe right or wrong. There is more to it. The situation is more complicated than it appears. Now, sometimes in life, we often face situations where the answer isn't simple. And this phrase helps you express that in a fluent and intelligent way. Here are some examples for daily use. I know it sounds unfair, but it's not as black and white as it seems. There's a reason behind the decision. The project may look easy on paper, but it's not as black and white as it seems. Don't judge them so quickly. Things are never black and white in relationships. I hope you're making your own sentences and dropping them in the comments. All right, let's move on to phrase number 4. Let's delve deeper into this. Now, this is a phrase that sounds really fluent and professional. To delve deeper means to explore something more carefully or to go beyond the surface of something. You use this phrase when you want to study something in detail, like a problem, a topic, or an issue, and you want to understand it better. So, you delve deeper into it. Here are some examples. That's an interesting idea. Let's delve deeper into this before finalizing anything. I am not convinced yet. I think we need to delve deeper into their proposal. This issue keeps repeating. maybe it's time to delve deeper and fix the root cause. This is a phrase that works especially well in team discussions, meetings, or even in serious conversations. With that, we come to the last phrase from today's lesson, and that's I need a moment to gather my thoughts. You know what? I personally use this phrase quite often. This is my personal favorite. We all had moments when our mind just goes blank, right? Someone asks us a question and suddenly we don't know what to say. Our ideas are all over the place. Our brain needs a second to process everything, right? Now, instead of saying, or looking nervous, fluent speakers use this phrase. This means I just need a few seconds to organize what I want to say before I speak. It's a polite and professional way to pause without sounding unsure or confused. In fact, you know what? It actually makes you sound calm, thoughtful, and confident. Here are some examples. That's a really important question. I need a moment to gather my thoughts before I respond. I wasn't expecting you would say that. Just give me a second to gather my thoughts. Before I explain, I want to gather my thoughts so I don't miss anything important. Which of these 5 phrases did you like the most? And most importantly, which one will you start using today? Remember, you don't need to know 1,000 words to sound fluent. Just a few smart words and phrases like these can really transform the way you speak. Drop a sentence in the comments using any one of today's phrases. I'll be reading them. And if you found this lesson useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell because more lessons like these are coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next lesson.